and we got a Queen Nai, and we've got a Zol. All happening right now. Oof. We
Now,
saw
normally,
a little bit of Zol
go ahead.
yesterday. Oh no, I was just thinking about like C yesterday.
Oh, there was Zol and SE. I didn't get a chance because you know me, it was past my bedtime.
Yeah, dude.
I'm aggressively 32 years old, so I had to go to bed.
Excuse me, the phrase is exceptional.
That's okay. Yeah, that's what it was. Sorry, but I love Zol in 2s. I love when I get to watch Snowy play Zol anytime in 1v1 or 2v2. But we also get a Queen Nai on the screen, which I know Toast is happy for. I know Foda is happy for. I know there are a lot of people that love to see a Queen Nai. Not in that way though, where she gets side signatured by a Brynn over to the right side blast zone. We always say Queen Nai never get knocked out because her defense is so high, but all of a sudden it was the first legend to fall.
So maybe not high enough.
Maybe not high enough.
But we'll just see what has to happen now for the blue team. Right now, red team on a bit of a back foot here, just positioning-wise. Sarme going to be looking for that side light. Not going to be able to connect it, but does get that side and does push blue off stage. Sarme is like, okay, listen, I'm Zol. I'm going to press side sig. And if it connects, you'll explode. And if it doesn't, I might just get away with it.
We just talked about Taros and the high strength that Taros brings to the table. Two other extremely high strength legends in this video game, Zol and Queen Nai. We talk about Queen Nai's defense all the time, but also amazingly high strength. Will get those early knockouts, especially if you're able to use that spear neutral signature to catch your opponent jumping.
Sarme right now picking up the cannon again, just trying to get into the swing of the game. Fozey needs to find a way to get back onto the stage, but you know what? Blue and Kresuu, they're like, okay, cool, you're getting back on. We'll just set up the 2v1 at the moment instead. That's going to be a stock off the side. That's going to be a second one as well. Blue team at quite the deficit at the moment as Kresuu and Blue have a 4-2 stock advantage.
Blue is extremely healthy so far, only in the yellow, not even really close to orange. Wait, what's going on? Okay, the program feed did somehow disconnect. We are watching the game on the right side. It is 3 stocks to 2 currently. Blue is like in the beginning stages of red, and Kresuu was knocked down and put on a final stocks. So it's Fozey and Sarme are both in the yellow. They're caught in a team combo, and it ended with a side air from Kresuu. Sarme took the worst of it because there was more damage on him. What?
Yes.
Yeah, so like, what? What's over here? And what's over, what? Okay. We're seeing 2 different things. I want everyone to know I'm not crazy here.
Yes, we're just having a couple of technical issues, but it'll be fine. Right now, Fozey needs to find a way to get back onto the stage yet again here. Kresuu looking for just something, just occupying the ground, holding on, looking for the recovery here. Fozey knocked off, play for a second. That's not going to be able to do it quite yet. Sarme still alive, still hanging on to that stock, and Blue's just trying to hunt him down. Sarme, though, took that time, took that opportunity to get in on Kresuu. Blue team has a chance. They just have to not get hit. They can't get hit by the sider. They can't get hit by a recovery. Okay, well,
the side air. That's what he needed to do. Any other move, he was pretty much going to risk punishment from the member of the blue team that he didn't hit. That's why the first move that he used was the side air. It's very quick. There was enough space for it. Once he got that side air hit, if there was a push coming out from Sarme, he could turn around and do something, whether it's a dodge or whether it's a move. Then he used the recovery on the second one because there wasn't another blue team member to punish him for being in those longer active frames where you don't have that much movement with that recovery.
We'll have to see what happens game 2. We missed a little bit of the last game, but now
But we saw the result, which is the most important part, and that is Blue and Kresuu taking game 1.
This time around, though, I will say that was a little bit tragic for the blue team because they almost clutched that one out. As soon as they found that opening, especially with like a Zol on the screen, they can make stocks evaporate in a 2v1 combo. But speaking of 2v1 combos, red team going in. Poor Fozey.
Sarme was unable to do anything. Like, he got out of the combo and was throwing out moves, but none of them were making a connection, and they were able to do damage to Fozey. And actually, in the long run, even with that combo, more damage is on Sarme than Fozey. Yeah, and he's the first one that falls, Dara!
This is a little tough for the blue team at the moment. They are getting mildly cooked. That D-Light into the center does connect. Fozey still somehow alive and not too well. And in fact, totally unwell at the moment as the neutral light does connect. But that's also going to be Kresuu's stock.
So we do see a legend switch here, Dara. Of course, we have Fozey moving off of the Queen Nai onto the Orion. And that's because we were talking about that Taros stuff that you need to see when you're playing that legend. We didn't see the Queen Nai stuff coming out from Fozey. We didn't see those D6 KOing. We didn't see those early KOs with all that strength. We didn't see the huge survivability. So he's going to move on to a more meta legend in terms of the general meta. Of course, Fozey plays Queen Nai all the time, but seeing Orion in the more general meta is something we're more used to.
Fozey is initiating so well right now. Fozey is being really aggressive, just really on top of it and making sure to control a lot of space. Almost gets the punish there on the whiff sig. Doesn't actually find it though. Makes it back onto the stage.
The silent side air. He straight up, I don't remember what button it is in Counter-Strike to like screw the suppressor on the end of your M4, A4 or A1. I can't remember which one it is. Sorry, CS heads out there. Dobrain, we need to play CS. I miss you. But it was the silent side air coming out.
Nobody heard it.
Nobody heard it.
Not even a mouse. Okay, Blue looking for that side light. Comes back down onto the ground here. Dash jumping, looking for that opening on Sarme. Chase dodging to cover the landing. Blue team, I've got to say, they've got a really good control of the ground at the moment, but what they don't have is that stock lead at all. They do knock off Kresuu off stage. Love that target switch. Sarme wants something huge. Not going to be able to find it. Oh, Kresuu.
Off the top, unarmed, and then he gets the double KO with it as well. Look at all that damage that Kresuu did, 557. I love this team comp coming out from them. We don't see too many Kayas in 2v2. Of course, we do have like major flagship Kayas like Blue, like Acno, but we don't have that many Kayas coming out in 2v2. She's kind of fallen off a little bit in terms of like people's opinions about her, but someone we see like even less of in 2v2. We go from all of the defense of Queen Nai to none of the defense that Ember has that Fozey just locked in.
I wonder if that's going to pan out for Fozey at all. I wonder if it'll do anything. Fozey has been swapping left and right.
Yeah, Fozey is one of those players that has a very large kit and can play with a lot of different legends very well, more than most other people. We also see actually a swap from Sarme as well over to the Daimyo. But Ember, low defense, you gotta, like, you have to be like one of very few people that are like allowed to play low defense in 2v2s. Pugsy is one of them. Fozey may not be.
Considering that Fozey just lost the stock off the top there, and so will Sarme. Once again, red team has a lead. Granted, Blue, definitely in the yellow, took a bit of a beating at this point in time. Fozey trying to get something started with those neutralites. Didn't find the chase dodge to follow up, though. And now, just looking for the recovery, looking for the jump call out onto Kresuu. That was unsuccessful. Sarme off stage gets a little bit greedy with that ground pound. And listen, you gauntlets, of course he'll be greedy with the...
of course.
You want that spike so
bad.
That's
some of that. That's the gauntlet stuff that we love to see as gauntlet players. Blue recovering. If he can, very low, he's going to eat the down air. Oh, he somehow gets back. I thought it was over, and I was about to say, man, I hope they don't turn it into 2 stocks lost.
That was almost such an awful commitment off stage that led to both of these stocks being on. Everybody was saved. Everybody is well. Everybody is still holding onto the second stock. That's going to be Sarme's stock off the top thanks to that recovery. That's going to be Blue cleaning it up off of Fozey as well. Red team consistently coming out on top, consistently holding onto this lead. Really not giving Blue team a lot of room to play with.
Neutral Sig did come out. That took Blue out at that 45-degree angle. The Blue team wasn't able to capitalize too much on it as Blue was spawning back in. Kresuu did a good job of avoiding what he could. Kresuu, the most healthy in this game, technically, at least in terms of stocks, but he is in the red on his second stock. Sarme starting to get into the orange, the bow v bow gameplay. Blue's getting the better of it.
Fozey tried to capitalize off of that scythe downer. Wanted to go off stage, follow up off of his teammate. Wasn't so lucky that time around, though. Now Sarme looking for something here. Able to get that whiff punish, able to get the side air, but still somehow not KOing. Bryn is alive through all that. I cannot believe my eyes. Oh, huge. Is that going to be it? Not quite. Goes for the GCD light. Still going to be able to get the neutrality pickup. That is going to be the stock finally. Blue team picking up a couple. And once again, 2v1, both of them taking a lot of damage up until this point. Do they have those 2v1 combos? Do they have that synergy to solidify this lead? Or is Kresuu just going to get aggressive off stage?
And that's when the difficulty of swapping to so many different legends really could rear its ugly head. Or maybe you don't even need the 2v1. Maybe Sarme's just going to completely solo Kresuu on the left side. We were talking so much about the Fozey swap to Ember, but that Daimyo swap really worked.
Sarme on Scythe has been honestly excellent. The positioning, the spacing, Sarme looked super, super comfortable. I mean, Scythe is one of those weapons that's like, hey, if you're connecting these follow-ups and you're getting the edge guards, then you're able to find those stocks subsequently as well. The spacing was super tight, the positioning was awesome. And a lot of these downers as well also set up into their teammate being able to follow up off of other things. Just really good positioning. I love what Sarme did for the Blue team that game.
And we're going back to the same map with the same legends all across the board. Fozey made the Ember work, so I don't know what I'm talking about. Sarme did such a great job as well. How much damage did Fozey take? Fozey took 506 damage and still had some more to take, of course, because he still had a stock up on the board. Meanwhile, Sarme took 564 as well, with some more room to go for himself.
Look at the amount of times that Sarme has successfully connected a hit. That is the thing that I would just really like to point out at the moment. Gets that downer into the side as well, comes back onto the stage looking for yet another downer. Sarme, everything that he is going for at the moment is connecting. This is it. This is the Scythe win condition, isn't it?
I mean, it gives you so much control. It, of course, gives you control in ones, but it also gives you so much control in 2v2 as well, because you can choose, like, oh, do I want to send him based on context? Do I want to send him to the blast zone? Do I want to send him over to the wall?
And usually it's off stage so that you can put them out of play.
Exactly. Or if you want to, you can also, I'm going to send him back towards my teammate so that they can get the follow-up. And Scythe lets you uniquely do that in a way that very few other weapons do.
It's a pick and choose your own adventure.
It absolutely is. Like, your flowchart is much more complex than some of the other weapons.
This is the thinking man's weapon.
Ah, I see, I see. That's exactly what Toph would call it. The silent laugh. Is that a Melee player thing? Because that's what Taza used to do whenever I would make references or jokes to Taza.
Am I being compared right now? Am I being called a Melee player? Is that what this is?
Yeah, you might be.
I am. Okay, that's fine. That's okay. Kresuu able to get the recovery off of that. Trying to back off to the ground here. Huge Neutralite. Trying to maybe find a follow-up onto Fozey as well here. Okay, I gotta say.
Sarme's nasty.
Yeah. I really like Kresuu on the axe at the moment. He was just staying alive. He was target swapping beautifully.
I mean, Kresuu did the most damage out of everybody last game, and more of it was done on the axe compared to the spear. He did about twice the damage. Not quite twice. A little bit under twice.
Okay, that sidelight's going to connect. Sarme going to go out there, and now Kresuu barely avoiding that side, just barely misspacing it. The recovery does come out. Is Kresuu going to be able to make it back on? The chase dodge, good idea, but you have to go for the diagonal up chase dodge at that point. Ended up getting stuck, did not touch the wall, and as a result, that stock is gone. 3 stocks to 3, but look at Fozey. Fozey has to play back. Fozey cannot go out now, because look at what happens now.
At least, yeah, they traded 1-for-1 indirectly there. As Fozey falls, taken out of the game, Sarme now in the 2v1 or the 1v2 situation, if we're looking at it from Sarme's point of view. I was going to say, like, and the difficulty of playing this is because when you're going for those extended strings and all those hits, you're going to get punished often. But until just now, that wasn't the case. Sarme was doing a great job of throwing one opponent, splitting the team up, turning around, hitting the other one, throwing them away, then turning around, hitting the first one. All of a sudden, though, Blue and Kresuu are starting to reign in control.
Finds that side light, backing off to the ground, gets that side really good disengage, but that's going to be the second stock on. Red team just taking a nice little breath for the moment. They're in it, they can do this, right? As long as Sarme does not pick up that scythe. As soon as he picks up that scythe, I think it's going to be over. But look at this 2v1 combo. Wow.
There we dropping that recovery that definitely would not have KO'd even that high up because of the lower strength, and Blue or and Sarme was only in orange, but they did strip the field right after that. So they did a great prioritization as they take that game. They did a great prioritization of there is a weapon spawn on the field. We don't want Sarme to have that, but what's more important here is doing like 80 to 90 damage in the 2v1 combo. Once that was over, now the second priority is moving back over to stripping that field so that Sarme is constantly at the weapon disadvantage.
Now, I will say, Sarme was setting up a lot of really advantageous positions